And we're here, ladies and gentlemen. Ju Reams.
How you doing? What's going on,
What's
Chris?
going on, my brother?
Chilling, man. How you?
Hey, man, I'm maintaining. Thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I know the time frames sometimes are like crazy here, but big effort on your part.
I appreciate that. I need to work on my public speaking anyway.
There you go.
You know
we are. We're here. We're working.
This will be my practice.
I wanted to have you on because, first of all, I want to talk about stuff I don't know, but also in the same time, listeners, the people that I'm not listening to, viewers, they're gonna know more. You know. But let's start off like before we get into the big stuff that. You know, just take me back real quick. Like if you flip a football card over and the back of the card has a little story, don't go all hard and everything. But like,
got you.
Like what your young days? Like I know you played sports. I know you didn't always draw, but or did you? Like what? Walk me through that real quick.
All right, so I'll start in probably second grade. I went to Prine Elementary, and my mom put me in this magnet art program.
Shout out to Prine.
Prine, yeah, all day. And what happened was, around that time I was playing. Let me do the math. I'm sure I was already playing on like Richmond Park, and like the crowd that hung around even in school. Like we didn't really talk about like art and stuff in the second grade. That's not really. No. Nobody cares if you can draw good. It's not really nothing to talk about.
No.
So I always did it. Starting from the second grade, I was in the magnet art program there from second to fourth grade. Then fifth and sixth grade, fifth grade I went to Moton. Was in the magnet art program there.
Oof.
And then middle school, I went to Southwood Middle School, was in the magnet art program there.
Nice.
6th through 8th grade. And then I got to 9th grade.
In those like schools, like I'm assuming you're going there with your skill and it's just
each school you have to audition to get in. It's not just like fill out this app so you could come be in our magnet art program. It was an audition process.
Audition, like draw a piece and show it to me and then they judge
like,
it?
Nah, like it was doper. So like
ballerina and shit?
Yeah, all right, so I'll start with, I can't really remember the one from middle school. I'll tell you, I think I remember one from high school. I might be mixing them. But anyways, basically all these kids come. Let's say it's to go to court, because I did it 9th through 12th grade. Corey Senior High School is in the magnet art program there. So let's say kids come from Ammons Middle, Southwood Middle, Arvida Middle, Richmond Heights Middle, wherever middle school you come from. There's a date. You come and you say, oh, you want to be in this art program? Come here, bring your portfolio, show me what you've done in middle school. Let me see the art you've done previously. And they're like, okay, cool. That's like a portion of the audition. Then another part of the audition is like they'll say, okay, look at this object for 45 seconds. And then when that 45 seconds is up, they remove the object and they say, now draw what you remember from it.
What?
Right? And this is, you're talking 8th graders. This is like
Navy SEALs.
13, 12, 13, 11, 12. Me, I was like 11, 12 years old.
Like you already had a portfolio at 12?
Absolutely.
What does that mean? Like on your own, you're drawing at home?
No. From the work I did from 6th to 8th grade at Southwood Middle School.
Is that chair that's doing that? Like, chicka. Yeah, right? We go with that, right? If it gets annoying a little bit, we'll switch it. Right. You sound like Grandpa telling a story. Like, I'll tell you about that.
Is that me? Well, maybe that'll give it a better effect.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't hear it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably my stomach.
Yeah, you good.
So you got a portfolio. You're competing with other middle school kids.
Yeah, kids from wherever they come from, they want to be in this program to go.
This program must be the shit.
Well, they have, I know Southwest Miami-Dade, they had all these different magnet art schools. Like you come, like they have Dash, New World, stuff like that. I went to one down south. It was the magnet art program. It's VPA, Visual Performing Arts, at Corey Senior High School. But so the audition to get in that, basically they'll do that. Then they'll say, here's a still life, right? That was the one portion is your portfolio, like I said. Then the second one was like, draw what you remember. And then the third one would be like, it's a still life. Here's a vase and a flower, vase, tomato. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The glass pot that the flowers are in.
Correct.
They'll leave it there and they'll say, all right, draw it. Look at it and draw it. Take your time. We'll give you 20 minutes. Show me what you got. And then it'll be like that. And then there was, I think there was one more section I can't remember.
I'm sorry. What was the point of that? Like, what are you supposed to do?
They want
to come out like with a giraffe head and be like, I saw this.
Maybe not.
And they're like, we want that guy.
Maybe not. But at that time,
Did you do that?
No, I wasn't ready to show that. I thought that was weird. Like, I can't do that. They're gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Let me just draw what I see.
Let me draw what I see.
Exactly.
Right,
and then, because I yawned through that stuff and I did it and they're like, oh, this is great. Like, shout out to all the artists that do like landscape.
Do it right now. Shout out.
No. That was a disclaimer. I fucking hate landscape.
Oh, you know what? We're taking them shout outs back.
There's nothing
what is it,
against them.
straight
It's
lines?
amazing. It's awesome. But to me, it's just like,
Give me a
you
ruler.
could have took
Just give me a ruler and a pen.
facts. But it's just like,
I mean, I can pretty much draw plans. Like if you put me in a
well,
room,
no,
and you're like, your family's
again,
gonna die. I can draw.
I'm not trying to
plans.
discredit them because they do amazing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got introduced to. What
Is
they
that like
call
the Bloods and the Crips for like artists? Like fuck people that draw lines, and then you're like,
Nah, it's not. I think artists they appreciate
you can have all the architects, man. and shit.
everything. Nah. I think artists appreciate other people's art because it's not what they do. Even
Correct.
if you draw or paint hyperrealism, and there's an artist out there
Hyperrealism, like,
who does
Pon
nothing
Trumbo,
but
what are you
abstract.
saying? What does that mean?
Like it looks like it's a photo. So
Oh,
let's
okay,
say somebody
okay.
could take a photo of like this section and then they'll paint it, the entire thing, and they'll varnish it. They'll put it in the frame and they'll hang it. If it's in the gallery, what happens sometimes is people walk by and be like, oh, that's a dope photo. And they'll keep it moving. And then they'll be like, that's not a photo, that's a painting. And they're like,
Wow.
wait, that's a what? That's a painting? And then they'll come back and they'll be like, oh.
like a double turn.
But I honestly think a lot of people, it goes over their head. They're just like, oh, yeah, cool photo. And they keep it moving. And to me, it's just like, man, you know how many hours they spent on that?
Yeah, they probably shitted on you. Like,
This
oh,
is what
cool,
I'm saying.
you're taking
like,
pictures.
This man probably spent 200 hours on a piece. This is 40 by
and
60.
somebody
Whatever
wiped
he
their
spends.
twat with it.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, that's a dope photo. Why would they paint that? You just took a picture of it. They don't, like, people don't appreciate certain things. So
Now, you knew that as a young age, and you're like, I'm gonna hold back.
yeah, well, I didn't look at it as holding back then. That was like some hindsight 2020 shit. Well, actually, let me fast forward. What I can remember
I'ma do all the
the
effects.
defining moment that I knew that I told myself I wasn't. Sorry, I'm using my hands too much.
No, don't worry about it.
That I wasn't
Those are for the
gonna.
people that can't hear.
That I wasn't gonna not do what came up in my
Like
head.
your real expression.
There
like,
you go. I was doing a commission piece for this kid of this little series I had called the Super Soaker series, where I take a girl, I won't show her
I think
face.
I've seen like the end product of what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and it's like a super soaker, and like she's shooting it, but you can't see her face, she's just firing it off. So he's like, yeah, do it for me, do whatever you want on it. This is like 2013, maybe 12,
Yeah.
something like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I painted the girl up, I put the helmet on her, I did it, my little super soaker, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give her legs like some Ursula legs, like let me funk it, like give me some octopus legs. I'm like, it don't really make sense, but that's what I want to do.
That's what an artist is, right? Isn't
Right.
it like going against the grain?
But guess
Isn't
what
that-
happened?
Isn't that the culture? Like
It's supposed to be, but guess what happened? I was like,
you're like a
nah.
pink cat.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. That
That's a
shit
bad
might be
analogy.
too.
Pink Panther exists already. You know what I meant?
Yeah, word. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just like, I didn't do it. I end up just putting like some water or something, right? So what happened?
Shout out to my dog.
Yeah,
He loves you.
yeah, he's looking for me.
So wait, how old are you when you're doing this? Like this whole like Navy SEAL training to get into a school. This is high school.
This is to get into high school. So
To
you have
get
to
into high school.
Yeah, you have to do audition.
Shit.
You have to do an audition for that. To get into the middle school. So they're doing that to 5th graders. They're putting them through that. It's
Bro, I
something
didn't want to
similar.
get on the bus to go to school. You're like fighting to get into a class.
Yeah,
Like, that's
basically,
awesome.
and you're looking at kids from other places, and it's like a little you got this
Yeah.
competitive edge, and it's just like,
So that was your first thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, like for people who don't know, like, like if you like your resume, like things you've done is like you're a guy that does tattoos. You've done some of mine. You draw.
Mm-hmm.
You played football. So it's like the first thing was always drawing. Then I'm assuming like when you came out of the this is the first thing that came out of you that before you were talented in any other like you weren't playing heavy sports while you're doing this, were you?
yeah, I was.
You were?
I was playing football. Yeah, I started playing
Shout out-
football
shout
when
out
I
to Bo
was
Jackson.
when I was like 6 years old. I started on Corey Park with the Broncos, and I played with them for 2 years, and then I started running track, and my dad took me to, I think it was Colonial Drive Park or Richmond. I think it was Colonial Drive Park. And the kids I was at racing with, they was like, oh, why don't you come to our park? I'm like, what park is that? Like, we play for the Giants. Come to Richmond. And I'm like, all right. So my dad took me over there, and the culture was totally different.
The real football players over there.
Right. Listen, so I remember, I'll never forget this. It was crazy. So we get to the park. It's a different vibe. I smell like this weird herb smell in the air.
I wonder what that'd be.
Some cars driving by. You hear that I got 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? You see the ice cream truck. Shout out to Pablo ice cream truck. Yeah,
You're not in Kansas anymore.
Right, facts. So it was just like, well, all right, my dad brought me out here. He knows best. This is totally different from Coral Reef Park with the trees where you can't even see nothing. You see nice homes. You see this and that. You know what I'm saying? But I can remember when I played at Coral Reef, it wasn't really that competitive. We played, and I would ask my dad after the game, did we win? And my dad was like, he would laugh like, oh, so whatever. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward back to when I get to Richmond Park, the coaches, they look different. They talk to you different. I remember they had set up these, like, tire drills to work on your feet work because I played running back. And this is when I'm 80 pounds, so maybe in the 3rd grade. And
80 pounds.
I was trying to do the drill like with my feet, and I like stepped all over the ropes. And then this dude came over to me. He was like, "Hey, Jit, stay the fuck off my ropes." And I looked at him like, where's my dad? Like, you feel me? Like my like 90210. Like my dad don't even talk to me like that. I'm like, who the like what?
Fuck boy, get over here.
Yeah, like stay the fuck off my ropes. And I'm looking like, oh shit. I'm like, this is like boot camp. I'm like, what is this? Yep. Right?
It makes sense now. You're going to the Navy SEALs
fast
for
forward,
art,
listen,
and you're doing boot camp for football.
Fast forward. That experience was the best thing that ever happened to me because it was different. Practice sucked. Practice was hard, but when we played in games on Saturday, Friday nights, it was easy. We balled. We whooped everybody's ass. 2 years prior to that, when I was at Coral Reef, practice was fun and we
How
laughed,
far did that lead you?
Joke around.
Play football. How far did that go?
I played all the way up until I got a full scholarship to play in college. I played at FIU. Nice. I was there for 5 years. I redshirted my freshman year, and then I played 4 years after that.
And then what was it? Injury?
Well,
no,
it was no injury. After that, I hired an agent. I had a workout with the Bills. I flew up there, did the workout. It was like non-contact stuff, like just drills on air. We didn't really do one-on-ones, acceleration drills.
Shout out to Buffalo.
Yeah, it was like it was bullshit though. It was a bullshit workout, and I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, we not even doing nothing. So after that, I kind of told him, like, listen, because here's the thing: I was good at football, but I never loved it. I never had the passion for it. My passion was always art. But at this point, I still don't really know that. Right now, we're at graduating college, and I'm still flirting with it only. I'm like, art is cool. Art's always been there. It's normal.
What have you done till then that's big, like pieces, like nothing? It was just small portfolios?
Then I was doing tattoos. That's how I got back into art when I got to college.
Tattoos showed up in the middle of playing football in high school?
Yeah, and no.
You were tatting in high school?
No, I didn't start tattooing.
When did you start tatting?
In 2006, so my second year in college.
Why?
My boy called me. Shout out to Jose.
Shout out to Jose.
Tito, what up? So I went to 9th through 12th grade. I was in the Magna Art program at Coral Reef, and he was there. I met him there. He came from a different middle school, South Miami Middle School, maybe, something like that. I don't remember. But it was a Cuban kid. And we clicked immediately. It was like, yo, this is like the Spanish version of me. And he was thinking, yo, this is the black version of me. So that was like my boy, right? So quick little story. We vibed from 9th to 12th grade. It was just me and him. We were the two artists from whatever.
Because he also drew.
Yeah,
I'm assuming because he's going to bring tat to your life.
Right. So eventually he will. So boom, we vibed. We didn't like our teacher. We hated him.
Shout out to everybody who doesn't like their teachers.
Yeah, no, our
I hated all my teachers.
I'm not going to say his name. I did that before. I kind of got in trouble. My RT was
I'll do it for you. What's
fucking
his name?
Asshole. His name's Mr. McKinley.
Mr. McKinley, you're a fucking asshole.
Mr. McKinley.
Shout out to Mr. McKinley. He probably did good. He probably tried his best. You know what I mean? Some people
he didn't like us because we were good with it. We were effortlessly good. Yeah. Like, we didn't really give the effort. We were just there, and we excelled more than a lot of the other kids in the class. Some of them are still doing great things. Actually, I followed some of them, but it was more for us. We was like, we shrugged it. Like, we were kind of.
So you guys are like Batman and Robin.
We were kind of disrespectful to it though. When I look back at it, like, I was a disrespectful ass jit. Like, how dare I be in this art class that people audition for, don't make it, love it, and I'm just like, I'm good at it, so I'm gonna do it.
It's not like you were like at a regular school where there's no, you're not competing for nothing.
for that program. But I was disrespectful toward it, but I didn't notice at the time. So, anyways,
whatever. You're young.
yeah, you know, you live and you learn. Anyways, I remember
How
11th
do you
grade.
we don't learn to wipe our asses till like 20. You know that?
Baby wipes,
facts.
yo! Shout out to baby wipes.
That's why they invented baby wipes.
If you're not using baby wipes,
Not for
like,
you know, there's a high
check
percentage
yourself.
of people guys that walk in and they say, "Oh, this is for my baby at home," and they don't have babies. Okay?
But there's nothing wrong with that. Yo,
No.
I got a homeboy. He tries to shame me.
No,
he be like, "Oh
you
boy, you
shouldn't.
gay? Boy, you got wet ass." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You dried after, but it's clean. Like, yo, chill."
Guys
like,
need to look. I
yo,
don't mean to
clean
segue.
yourself.
Put a pin in what we're talking about. I just
All
want
right.
to say this. Like,
I
guys need
remember.
to stop being ashamed of being guys because I know girls don't do this shit. Because I asked my girl today, and she said no. Maybe she's lying, but I was like, "You've never smelled your butt? Like, you don't know what your butt smells like? Like you know, like just smell your butt once since you were a kid till now. You've never done that." And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Ask any guy if you've ever done that. He'll lie to you and say he hasn't because we've all done that shit." And then here's the cool thing that after you do it again. You're like, "Ew," you're like, "You do it again." Like you're gonna check. Like that's a guy thing. You understand?
Chill,
Like,
yeah.
it's a
Some,
facts.
I mean,
So
some
that's
things,
why I'm saying
some
like,
things are best left unspoken.
yeah,
but
man. But
word.
that's how, why I said that. I have no fucking idea. But it was part of your story.
Right.
So
So
when we watch this shit later, it'll make sense. What were you saying?
So to pick back up the pin where I left off, 11th grade we had this. I think it was called like advanced portfolio submission.
Correct.
I can't remember the name right now. Whatever it was,
cares?
AP art portfolio, some shit
Mr.
like that.
McKenzie's all we remember right now. He's an asshole.
Right. So it was an AP art portfolio thing, and me and him submitted. In high school, you could get it as a 5. It's judged by people. I think they do it by state, FHSA, whatever, high school,
Right.
Florida, whatever it is. Excuse me.
Shout out to Florida.
Yeah, you could do. So they rated the lowest grade was a 1. The highest grade was a 5.
How do they grade art?
They have their
pieces?
curriculum. They have their categories, and that's the thing.
Oh, okay.
And that's why
it's judged on a
for
system.
sure it's a judges, and basically it's whatever they're. In my opinion, I like this one over that one.
Got you.
You're being
know what I'm
judged
saying?
by
It's
it's
like the
bullshit.
academy, bro.
It doesn't mean anything.
I
right?
got you, bro. It's just
At the
people.
time, though, yeah, it's like it's high prestige. Oh, this is good. You better make sure you get a high score on this, so that way those art schools could come and look for you
It's
in
politics.
college, and it's bullshit.
That's a good voice, man.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. So look. So anyways, so me and him got 5. We got the highest score on 11th grade.
Of course.
And yeah, and we would use the class would start. We'd go outside. We wouldn't even stay inside. Right.
Were you and Jose like the bad kids of the school, or there was other groups?
Not the bad kids, but I got a cool story, the thing we did. So real quick. Anyways, we got 5s. He told the whole rest of the class, "Oh, they got it wrong this year." Like girls was in there crying, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it." And then fast forward, those same girls that like they're not in art anymore, but me and him are still in art. I seen one of them dancing in the club like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy. True story, right? So
That's so funny.
anyways, so he told them that. One thing we did that was dope. I remember it was 12th grade, and here's the thing: my mom was a lead teacher at that school, so she had an office in the main office, right? So one day we were in the 12th grade, him and I, and we was like, "Yo, let's paint a Squidward on the underwater mural that's right outside the library." He's like, "All right." He's like, anybody ask, we'll just say we're doing it for some program for art, whatever. Stupid idea, but you're a kid. You don't think anything.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
I'm smarter than everybody.
Plus, it's Squidward. You have to
Yeah,
draw Squidward.
for sure. So we painted a Squidward and we put a black shirt on him and we wrote 04.
Everybody's stupid but me.
Very
I
good.
had to do that real quick. 'Cause
Right? Painted Squidward, put a black shirt on him and wrote 04. When we were doing it, this guy walked by. I think his name was Mr. Mahoney or something.
oh my god, I thought you would say Mr. McKinney or that asshole.
Nah,
from
not
earlier.
him. Nah, he was downstairs.
He probably said that
He was
guy.
downstairs. Word. So, anyways, he passed by. He's like, "What are you guys doing?" I was like, "Oh, we're doing it for the art program, whatever we had memorized and said we were gonna say." He's like, "Oh, all right, cool, bet." He didn't even look to see what we were painting. It was obvious
That's awesome.
that we were vandalizing the
Yeah,
mural, right? But he never looked, so he went about his way. And then so we did it, finished it, high five. We're like, "Yeah, we're so smart." Right? Fast forward, my mom calls me into her room one night, maybe like a week later. She's like, "Julian." I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, "You know, we had a meeting in the office after school, and the principal was up there, and she was saying we need to catch the vandals who did this." And she showed the picture of the mural and the Squidward, and I looked at that thing, and I knew immediately it was you that did it.
Moms can-
She listen,
yes.
and she goes, "I knew it." And then we're in the meeting, and then the Mr. Mahoney guy stands up and says, "Hey, I saw the Reams kid doing that," and looks at my mom, and my mom said she felt like she got so small. She's like, "I cannot believe
When
this
she
boy."
saw that picture, like she immediately knew. Like parents can spot their kids.
They know.
Like Waldo. Waldo's mom could
Word.
spot her
She
right
knew
away.
she
When
could've
she
found
plays that game, she's like right here. Well, the rest of us are looking.
Word. So
It's like that. Like, so your mom was like,
she knew it was
you.
Yeah. So
that's good that you have that vandalism stuff in your
but
background as a
but
kid,
even
like,
that I didn't even look at it like
it's
we're
a
to me
college thing.
I thought we were making it like better, like we was hooking it up, but
Yeah.
we didn't do it as a senior prank. But that's what everybody
that was
thought.
your first street piece.
Word.
You know,
I never
I
thought about
guess-
that till just now. Yeah.
Whoa, bam, dropping knowledge.
That was the first one. So I didn't even think it was look at it like it was a
Squidward.
senior
You should do a
prank.
Squidward piece now. Now that I'm thinking about
Yeah, I
it.
probably
Like on a
I should run
library
it back.
mural, like a to pay homage to that with Jose there.
Maybe I could go back. We could go back and vandalize it again. Only this time we'll charge them.
Hear that,
See
Mr.
how that
McKenzie?
works?
That's good,
We
man.
could do that. So
So you doing? Look, man, this is crazy. I didn't
hold
even know
on.
that.
So listen, real quick with that story. After that,
You're doing more shit.
no, this is the same story.
Okay,
So we
okay.
got caught. They found out that it was us. They gave us indoor suspension and told us that we weren't going to graduate and that we couldn't go to grad bash. And
What the hell is grad bash?
listen, and we're like, but what if we could take it off? And he's like,
Go back. What is grad bash?
it's like grad,
beating up
it's
graduates.
It's like grad night. You know how they?
yeah, like grad night is when you go to Disney.
That's the same thing. They just
You
changed the
just
name.
changed the name.
Yeah,
I
they
got
because
you. I
what
got
they
you.
did
You
is
guys
they-
are artists.
No. They
Artists.
stopped doing that at Disney, and Disney owned the rights to grad night.
when they threw that guy over the canal and almost killed.
Nah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
No, that's not true. That's a
I don't
rumor.
know what that
I heard,
is.
there was a school in Miami Dade.
Mm-hmm.
If you have time, whatever, don't go crazy looking for it. But there was a school in Dade County
Uh-huh.
that got like banned from going to grad night because they threw Mickey over the fucking thing and he had like almost drowned.
Nah.
The guy in the suit like almost drowned in the little river. And now see how rumors start. That was been going on for a while. I'm not sure
Right.
if that's true, but
That's
we'll find
nuts.
out. But go ahead, finish. what
Okay,
you're
so
saying.
what grad bash was, it was the same thing like grad night at Disney, only it was at Universal Studios. They started
Better.
going there. Word, because they had like Islands of Adventures.
What year is that?
open.
What year is this you're doing?
I graduated in
this?
2004.
You graduated 04?
Yeah, which is 15 years ago, believe it or not. So that don't I
Shit,
ain't
I don't
young.
wanna do the math when I'm
Word.
from 94,
Like
bro.
15, I was talking to my girl about that the other day. I was like, I graduated 2004. Like,
Yeah, when you were like, yeah, and I was
Like, that's
vandalizing,
15
and you
years
said
ago.
Squidward, I was like, God
Mhm.
damn, how old was that? Because SpongeBob's not that old, but like, I
yeah,
forget,
yeah, but
not
he
everyone's
is.
my age.
But still, SpongeBob is at least.
Yeah, he's pretty old, but I
he-
mean, he's
he
not older
closer,
than me.
closer than I think coming up 20 years old.
Yeah,
But think about it, you got
SpongeBob.
dudes like Kyrie Irving who's putting like SpongeBob on his sneakers, on his Nikes. He's releasing
Bringing him back.
everybody. Like,
SpongeBob's the king, though, man.
first, he's
You
weird.
know, he's
SpongeBob,
weird.
SpongeBob's weird as fuck.
Like the world or him?
It's just the whole cartoon is weird.
It is, right?
It's
Like,
strange.
how is there bubbles underwater? Not bubble. How do they open the sink? Like underwater. They're like washing dishes and shit.
He's weird.
And
You
he's
don't know
not
if
absorbing that
You don't know
water
if he's a
underneath
kid.
his-
You don't know if he's an adult. Whatever. That's here. nor
Fucking
there.
sponge.
Right. So, anyways, back to the story. So we got indoor suspension. We was like, what if we could take it off? We were able to take it off. We painted it back how it was. And then, so we got to go to grad bash. And then we got to graduate. And at the graduate, I guess whoever got sum cum laude, whatever the highest thing, you know how to get
Yeah.
the speech at the school. They gave us a shout out. It's like, shout out to
What?
the boys who did the
vandalism.
senior, the
And
senior
then painted
prank.
it again.
Yeah, and then
You know
me
how
and
they
him
punish
stood up.
artist students? Because
Mhm.
I draw a little bit, right? Shout out to me drawing in high school. I vandalize. Why do great men? Because you're a great guy, and
Mm-hmm.
so am I. Why do great men vandalize art? It's like a fuck you, I'm better thing. I think.
Nah, I don't do that. Though.
I mean, no, but I'm saying like, what led you to like you know, you shouldn't have done what you did. You know what I mean?
Right, but I didn't look at it like it was.
You were improving
That's
it in
the
your
thing.
eyes.
Well, no, for sure. But and that should sound crazy, right? But I wasn't looking at it like it was like.
So it's not
Fuck
vandalism.
this piece.
You were
No,
like
I w-
improvalism.
It was like a collab. It's like, yo, whoever
the
did
word.
this piece, watch me and my dog about to do. We about to make this shit better.
Okay, that's different.
But
That's different.
yeah, but not even like we wanted to blend in with your style.
Yeah.
But let us put our thing on it. You know.
Like in high school, I messed up art. Like the people had done portraits,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I went and put stitches and black eyes on people.
Yeah.
But then they're like,
Like
"You're
how they do in
But I was in
textbooks.
art school when I did. I was in art class, meaning I'm also an artist.
That's the
And
thing
so
now.
to
That's part of,
punish
like, pop culture art.
They're like,
People buy
"You're
that.
an artist, fix it." And so they made me fix it because, like,
That's
it's like,
crazy.
dang, you know what I mean? Like, what if I didn't know how to fix something?
True.
But that was
Whoa.
your punishment. You are an artist and you're in this class. You painted too, so
For sure.
now
And- but
paint it
was,
over.
It was an easy fix.
It was easy, man.
Because we did it in
That
a
was
corner.
easy.
We
Look at that,
had a
easy.
plan. It was crazy, but that was a cool story. So, anyways, that's
You go
Pito.
from that's your boy Peter
That's
Jose.
Jose.
He put you on to
to
tattooing.
There you go. So that's our relationship. So when I'm in college now, 06, he calls me one day on the phone. He's like, yo, I'm like, what up? He's like,
Yo,
you
I
know,
got this piece.
nah, he's like, you ever think about tattooing? And I'm like, not really. You know what I'm saying? I'm in college playing football. Nigga, I'm finna go to the league. You know? Y'all, so
I'm
I
going
thought.
to Buffalo on a bullshit
course,
workout.
you think like, oh, I've been playing football this long, and I keep going to the next step. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
thought that was gonna be the road.
for
I
sure,
guess.
but I didn't have the love for it. I didn't put in that extra work to get it because what it was up until that point, I was good enough for somebody to say, oh, like we want you to play varsity at our school. To oh, we want you to be a starting running back at our school. To oh, a college comes, he wants you to come play for them. I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah. And my brother did it 2 years prior, so I feel like, damn, I got to do this.
Pressure.
For sure, like sibling pressure. I'm like, my big brother got a full scholarship to college. My parents don't have to pay for anything. I have to do that too.
Yeah,
he was 2 years ahead of me in school.
That's hard.
Right. So I'm just like, damn, I got to
hard
play.
shoes to follow.
Right. I'm like, I got to play ball. Shout out to Justin.
That's your brother, Justin?
Justin,
All right,
yeah.
shout out, man.
So, boom, I'm like, I got to do this, right? So it goes from that to them asking. So I'm like, well, I see the pattern. It's just going to happen again. I'm playing in college. I'm on TV sometimes. Somebody from the league is going to come down and say, hey, what's up with this kid? They're going to work me out. Everything's going to work out fine. But obviously it didn't work out like that. I hit that brick wall after Buffalo. I was cool with it, though, because it wasn't like, oh, my God, my lifelong
But you think that
dream
played a
was
big role? Like you went to Buffalo and then you started tattooing?
No, I'm mixing it up. So I started tattooing while I was in college, second year in
You're
college.
fucking around.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I started taking art classes again because I missed it, right? So as I'm taking art classes, like the last semester of my freshman year, because I'm like, let me take an art class. I miss it. Take one art class. The kids in there, they're like majoring in it, and they're just like, I remember we did a piece. This is like an infamous piece. It's like a 4 by 4 feet by 4 feet self-portrait of myself, but there's different blocks, and it's in different colors of my head. So there's people that see it as I was tattooing in my dorms. They're like, you did that? I'm like, yeah, I did that. So
You were already getting like
yeah, but I
like
don't
a
see it
buzz.
as that at then. But now looking back, it's like, yo,
that was the buzz.
yeah, of course. This is my story. This is how it's building, right? So, anyways, took that art class. There was kids in art class like, oh, you didn't do that piece. I'm just like, okay. You know, she judged on how I look. Like I'm this young black kid with muscles and dreads. Oh, he's a football player. He can't possibly know how to do art. Fuck out of here.
That whole like
right?
cliche.
Yeah, she's looking at him like,
He's a
yeah,
dummy.
he's dumb. He could run a ball, whatever.
Yeah.
He can't fucking paint. So
it was like a motivation.
It didn't bother. No, it didn't bother me because I already knew I was doper than you.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't move me by saying, oh, you like trying to challenge yourself.
Right,
like I'm not in
right,
competition with anyone. I do my thing. Everybody
Speaks for
has their
itself.
own lane. Right. Like check it out. You like it? I'm glad. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you don't like it, then all right.
All right, let's talk about the first tats. Or I mean, I'm pretty sure right off the gate you weren't like, bam, I'm the best. You probably drew like something wrong. Or
I was worried about.
has that happened?
I
to you?
knew I would get better.
You've had some like mishaps. I'm assuming like.
Absolutely. I have. I'll talk about that. But I had I knew I would get better, so I never wanted to jump out the gate and do big stuff. But since I played with a lot of dudes on the football team, and they knew I could draw already and paint because of that portrait they always see in my room, they was like, yo, tap me up. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I would like start on them doing small stuff. They're like, do this big thing. I'm like, well, I'm not ready. I know I'm gonna get better. I'm patient with it. I can't do that yet. Let me do this something small.
Yeah,
So they're like,
yeah.
no. I'm like, yeah.
What'd you start off with? Like letters and shit, or like we went ham and made like portraits?
No, small, like little things like flowers and bullshit and butterflies and words and clouds, stuff like that.
I mean, weren't you like nervous? Like you're gonna mark this guy wrong.
Of course, I was nervous. I remember I was tattooing my uncle, one of the first pieces, and I put the stencil on him, and I started tattooing, and I went to wipe, and then I sprayed all the green soap in it, and then I wiped it down, and I wiped off the whole stencil, and my face showed it, and he looked at me, and he was like, "What?" And I was like,
What are you doing?
I'm like, nothing. He's like, what, man? I'm like, man, I wiped the stencil off, man. He's like, well, draw it back in. And I was like,
That's when you learn how to freehand first day.
yeah, I was like, all right, you're right. And I drew it back in, and then I was just like, all right, don't use green soap anymore. Use water.
Have you ever
And
had to
shake
draw
it.
like embarrassing shit, like a cock or like labial lips or something? Like,
Nah, I don't.
nothing like that crazy
I
shit.
turn stuff
You're like,
like
no,
that
I'm
down.
not doing this. I'm not doing a
Yeah,
cock
I'm
and a
not-
wing and a sun.
Nah, I've turned down.
What have you turned? That's what I meant to say. I don't know why I said cock right
I've
away.
turned
I was
down-
thinking rooster and cock came out. I'm so sorry about that.
I remember this kid. He wanted. It was like a female angel head that he seen somebody else get tattooed.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want that. And I'm looking at him, I was like, I could do that like better. Can I redraw
Female
it?
angel. What do you mean by that? Like a
But it was like
naked bitch with wings?
Yeah, but it was like her head and wings, and like her face was like crying or something like that. It was terrible.
It was gonna come out like Mickey Rourke, like all
right,
crazy, like
exactly.
looks like a boy.
Yeah, like a girl crying with makeup on, and then it started raining. Right. So I'm like, man, can I redo it? He's like, nah, I want it just like this. I'm like, all right. So I started doing stencil, and then I thought about it. I was like, yo, I can't do this. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you want it like this? I think I could do it better. You want it exactly like this? I can't do it like this. So
Really? Like you couldn't do what they asked?
Because that's my name on it, man. I knew that was my name on it.
That's gangster,
so
bro.
no matter what, it's like nobody's gonna ask, oh, whose idea was that when you went and got a tattoo? They're just gonna be like, oh, who did the tattoo? It's like, oh, Ju did it. That nigga trash, boy. That shit's garbage.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
damn.
It takes you.
She look like she crying.
It takes you 100 tattoos to get where you need to be, prestige wise, like reputation wise, and one tattoo could ruin all of that. And I always knew that. You know, that's with anything in life. You could do 100 things right.
You could build a bridge. No, I'm just kidding. You know that saying.
Yeah, you could do 100 things right. The first thing you do wrong, they're gonna be like, "Oh, look what he did wrong."
Why is that? Why are humans like that? Well, they'll
That's who
turn
we
you
are.
over.
That's
who we are.
That's what we're programmed to be.
Where you are with? You know what? We're gonna put a little pin on
That's what
important stuff like school and drawing and shit, and let's talk about aliens and dinosaurs and shit real quick. Like, because I know you're into that. We were talking about it, and I see the crystal skull around your neck.
Yeah, I
like,
got the shout out to the opalite.
Shout out
got
to
the opalite stone I had, man.
Those are those the what I'm thinking they are? Like the what is that? Give me what that is before I. At first I thought it was Destro from G.I. Joe.
It's like an energy stone, right? So they say your energy stones, you don't find them, they find you. And I remember I was scrolling through a book one day, and I saw it. I'm like, damn, I like how that shit look. So I looked it up, opalite, saw what it was about. I liked it at the time.
So it's an actual stone.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So I found one online that was like in the shape of a skull. So then I took it to a jeweler and had him make like a piece out of it. So this is like a one of one. Like
I thought it was the crystal skulls. You know what that is?
Nah.
You don't know what that is?
Nah. I've seen them, but I don't know.
And like I'm saying in real life, like what a crystal skull is. You know what that is?
No.
Okay, look, I don't know what it is either, but
people
have found skulls
that are made out of crystals.
Claiming that it's made out of crystals, like elongate. Look this up, man. The crystal skulls. Yeah, fucking Indiana Jones made a movie about it. Remember the Kingdom of Crystal Skulls? At the end, there were aliens around a circle.
Yes.
Well, that's what these people are saying. There's a lot of people like scholars that I say that it's real, and some try to debunk it. But that's what I thought it was at the beginning because they've claimed to have people have claimed to have found crystal skulls, like in reality, and like archaeology. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but.
That'd be crazy.
Where are you with that? Like, where are you with like fossils? Like, are you 100%
yeah,
with
but
fossils?
I think here's the thing. I think we have evidence of the history of this planet, but I don't think we necessarily know exactly it played out how they're saying it played out. Like, let's take a dinosaur for instance, right? Okay. And you see how they make it out. They reenact it to be this lizard-looking thing. Yo, how do they know that dinosaurs weren't hairy? How do they know they didn't look like a giraffe or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Look at a giraffe's like skeletal structure, and then look at like a dinosaur's. Right. It's like you can't tell which one had hair. We are which making one didn't.
Up the external part because
maybe we are, but that changes everything. Because now when you give it, and then he has slithery skin, and then if he had slithery skin, then maybe he had claws. Yeah, he had claws, and then they try to make it to be this like beast, but maybe it wasn't. Look at a cat. If you look at a cat. It's bone structure, and then look at a cat in real life. You can make that look like a demon if you wanted to. Yeah. If you change,
or
if
yourself.
You take
a skull, human skeleton. Like, if you've never seen a human, right? And you give him a skeleton, you're like, put the outside.
Exactly.
Like,
it could be whatever. They're not. They're gonna. Oh, and then he had skin. Like what?
He probably would be super skinny.
But up under his skin, he had this red like muscle type shit, right? That kept him tight. And you're like, for real.
And then depending on what he ate, he got fat or not.
There you go. You know, all you seeing is that. So you don't know what was attached to that. He wore
FUBU shirts from 2000 and what if dinosaurs wore like clothes? We don't know that. Yeah, we do. Listen, here's the thing. Before you still looking up the crystal shit. Is that fake? Is it fake?
What's that?
The crystals that they found. Crystal skulls. What comes out when you Google crystal skulls?
Yeah, so apparently it's like a pre-Columbian Mesoamerican artifact.
It's like some kind of artifact. You know, like.
From South America.
Oh my God! Don't talk about aliens on the show.
Yeah.
Hear that sound? No, you know what it is? Okay, look, first of all, I was about to talk shit, but in China, recently, I think maybe like 3 years ago, they found a preserved, like, bird-looking ancient dinosaur thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And in its tail, preserved, like all the way to the tail around, it had feathers, like little feather things.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like, you're right. We don't know what they had on the outside.
We don't know what they
It
look
could have been a
like.
bunch of stuff.
Right.
But
Maybe they weren't even called dinosaurs.
but check this out. If you never saw a human,
Right.
and you got to Earth, you're new. You don't look like a human, but you're intelligent, like an alien. And you
Mm-hmm.
find a human bones. Yes, you won't know how to put the outside, but what would you think it is? Would you believe that thing walked around and created shit? Like, would you know what he ate? Like, how would you know that? You'd have to find the remaining stuff around it to connect it and be like, let me compare it to the other living things that did when they eat. And that's how we know kind of
Right.
if a dinosaur had, you know, not the skin, but what he did. It depends on where they're finding them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it plays a big role.
So you're saying like how they can say by the structure of a T-Rex, we know that he couldn't have done anything great because his arms were so short. So he was just this dumb beast that ran around and did shit. Like he couldn't do anything. Like
Yeah.
you mean like that? Like
No, I meant more like,
because people do they take shots at T-Rexes all
yeah,
the time.
T-Rex.
'cause they-
T-Rex is the only guy that can't
That's a-
smell his butt. He
that's
can't
a-
pick his butt and smell it. So he would
That's
qualify
actually-
as the first one to be like, I don't do that shit.
Yeah, that's actually a diss. And
But
like,
you do that, right? You did that when you were little, right?
What?
You picked your butt and smelled it. Like, I'm not crazy.
Nah,
like,
I
here's
didn't
these are
have to do
statistics.
that.
He's never done that. Now, here's the crazy part.
What?
Like my girl and you. I'm like, so how do you know what ass smells like? You had to smell someone else's ass before you smelled your own. Like, or do you not know what ass smells like?
I
See
mean,
how
I
interesting that
think when
is?
people use a bathroom, then you smell.
But then that's poop.
Nah, not necessarily.
Talking the
before,
butt smell,
but, nah,
yeah,
but,
like.
I mean, I don't
But
know. how
anyways,
far we
T-Rex. Back to T-Rex.
Right.
My thing with dinosaurs is this: we're finding bones. What are they? Why are they so big? Like, so if they do look a little bit like their structure, like, do you believe in all the bone finds? Is my question. Like, are you down with
Yeah,
like, their bones?
I think we have bones in us. So if there's bones laying there like that, if you dig up a grave, it may look like the same thing. If you dig up a human for 200 years ago, it's just gonna be
You're not gonna
bones.
know.
Everything is all that other stuff decayed, dried away. It's dust now, right?
It's hard,
but
man.
not the bone, right?
They're there. Those
So-
things are
right.
there.
So I never said I don't believe in dinosaurs. I just don't know if they were called dinosaurs, one, and two, if they look like these reptiles. We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it
Yeah.
really matters. It kind
Like,
of
what
does,
if they
but
had-
who cares?
Because you know how we have teeth underneath, but you can't see them if we close our mouth. So,
Correct.
you know, what if they did have like smiles and they were like really nice
Maybe
looking
they-
dinosaurs,
but-
and they just look scary in X-rays?
That's true. And
Which
that's
is
why
what we're
people don't-
finding.
Well, that's why people don't like skulls. They're like, "Oh, it's evil. Don't put skulls on your body." It's
You
like
got one in your head.
everyone has a skull.
I always say
Every
that.
single solitary person on this planet has a skull. So you're saying, "Oh, skulls is evil." Okay, so you got evil up under your
Yeah,
flesh
you
and
have a
bones
skull.
and muscle and organs.
That's so true, bro.
Like that's stupid. That's your core. Think about it. It's the last thing to go away on your body is your bone. I think they should be celebrated more. Like I don't know anything about that.
Teeth
How
are
you say
pretty
it?
strong too. When you find old ass bones, they got teeth.
Remember,
in them
that's
still.
isn't that the thing that lasts the longest? How they could
They're
like
pretty strong.
find people and the
Yeah, yeah.
They
I've
could do,
seen
like,
there.
the
Like
dinner
you find like an ancient skull. Like even if
Mhm.
it's ancient, he's got one tooth right there, like hanging out.
Oh.
They're very strong. Okay, so let's.
I was saying something. What the
T-Rex, yeah, short
the
arms.
Mexican Day of the Dead. What is that festival called?
El Día de los Muertos.
That I think. Like I would love to go. I think it's late November they do it or something like that. Or November. When do they do it?
I'm
Is it
not
around?
sure
Is it
when.
around?
What is that all about?
November
Do you know
1st.
the history behind that?
I don't, but that's what I'm saying. It's intriguing. Like I'm like.
I think they
I'm
celebrate
intrigued.
like all past
I know they
family
did some
members
movies.
and
Have you ever
stuff.
seen Coco?
No, is that the Disney one?
Yeah.
Where his family's like on the other side and he keeps singing.
Right.
Please don't
Yeah,
die,
he killing it.
please don't.
Exactly. But then there's like a plot twist.
October
in it.
31st. Is it?
Is it October 31st?
Halloween?
Into first?
No, it's not.
No.
November 2nd.
November 2nd. Right? I said
Shout out to November
1st.
2nd, ADS,
Right.
Jorge Masvidal.
So it's
El
like
Día de los Muertos.
I want to know more about that because when you think about like death,
Are you
and
into
when
Are you into
people go-
that? Are you into the supernatural?
No, I'm into. Well, yeah, I don't think we just die in this pitch black after this. I don't think that.
What is it?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Obviously.
You can make it up on the show. We make up a lot of shit
I think
in the show.
it's more of a like you're in a dream. You know how when you
So that
dream
means you're
you
waking
can't.
up somewhere else.
No, you just dream forever. Go for it.
Oh, you're saying when you die, you go into
Yeah.
dream state.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome.
Well,
you
hopefully
don't
that's
die
what it
again, 'cause,
is.
listen,
I
I
don't
hope
want to
that's
die and
true
it just be
because-
pitch black forever and it's
No,
just
you
like
can't die again.
nothing.
You can't die again. You just died. You just die. You can't die again. And
Right,
after
now
you die,
you
you're like, I
just-
can't die again. I'm
right.
chilling.
But then that's where the whole, if you believe in like the spirits of your ancestors and like it's energy.
Here's my problem with
Energy
that.
never dies. It only
Let's debate this.
transfers,
Let's debate
right?
this just to create a subject. Okay. let's say I'm a pretty cool guy right now. I'm not that, I'm not the perfect human.
Right.
But let's say I did some bad stuff when I was young, and I've stolen before. I've broken the law. Okay, so I'm not a perfect citizen.
Right.
But I've gotten better.
Right.
But I have those human tendencies. So when I die and then I go to this other place, like I can't have that my mentality because I'll be like, what? I got away with it. I'll think that right away when I'm up there, because look, I'm still thinking like me up there. So if the thing that you're saying does exist, it has to be some other mentality that doesn't even matter. You're not even gonna remember your own life. Kind of like what the Bible says. Like, you won't remember. Because if you do, it's kind of like cheating death. I'll be up there like, oh my God, I made it. You're not gonna die again.
But what if that is how it is? That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Nobody can be
that
like,
would be cool.
But because here's the thing, nobody can say, "Oh, I'm about to cheat the shit out of life because I know when I die,
I
all I
ain't
gotta
gonna die
do
again."
is say one boom boom." But you don't know.
Like,
You know
what
what I'm
would
saying?
you
It's
do up
like,
there in your mind if you're in charge, right? What do we do? What's to do up there after? You know, like,
in heaven.
don't make us cut grass
Or-
and cook and shit. Like, yeah, what are we doing?
Maybe you do, but maybe you don't.
Come on,
maybe
man,
you
that's
don't
like
complain
hell.
about it. You're not
That's
gonna
like
have
hell.
that mentality,
Waking up and
though,
cooking,
right?
you gotta go to work. Nah,
You're
we
gonna
better
be like,
doing
this is-
some other
I
shit.
think- I
Like,
think it's-
not wearing
I think
pants.
it's an
And we don't have
infinite-
genitals. Like, we don't have genitals, so we don't have to wear pants.
I think it's an infinite, like,
That'd be heaven.
pleasant, like it's just pleasant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get, there's no strife, there's no anger, you're not upset in traffic, honking horns. People aren't making you
Okay,
miserable.
you're making
just-
sense now. No
You know what I'm
traffic,
saying?
no
Like,
hostile
there's
stuff.
none
But
of
is
the-
there, like,
you don't have to worry about bills and bullshit.
Okay,
It's
but
not
is
like-
there like you're chilling with me and we're not thinking of that, and some girl walks by and we're like, damn, she got a fat ass.
Nah,
like, is there that?
Probably not, because you just said we don't got genitals, so I don't care if she got a fat ass. I can't fuck, so who cares, right?
Yeah, right. You'll be
My
like,
mind's
look
not
at her
there.
ankles. She's walking a lot.
Yeah,
like
you're
that
not- but-
interests you now, walking and like
Right, like
doing senseless
dumb
shit.
stuff, right? But then
You kind of
not-
miss traffic. You're gonna miss. I do a lot of cool shit in traffic, man.
Yeah,
I made this podcast up in traffic.
that's dope. Yeah, I actually travel to work on my daytime job.
I like your heaven, man. It's
Yeah,
like no traffic, no genitals and pants.
Yeah,
Here's what I think. Get ready. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Nothing.
Just black.
Not black. Just you died. It's kind of like when I run over the lizard and shit. Like I want him to go somewhere, but he died. He's
That's
dead.
it.
He ceased being what is the best shit ever, which is living. You know, pumping the blood, pumping the muscle is probably the best thing you can do on planet Earth. If you want to do something other than live, I got to peek in there first. Make sure I don't want. I mean, what if I don't want to? What if I don't want to not have genitals and not have pants? Like, you know, what if I'm not okay with what's there? Maybe this is the best thing ever.
Maybe you're probably not gonna go there then.
Right. Then
I'm sure that's
here
why
comes my next question. What's happening in the other place? Is the other place just traffic and genitals and pants?
I mean, I don't know.
It has to be weird though, right?
Right.
Because if you say like there's an heaven, like hell has to be fucking weird, man. I always think of it like in the movies, like oh they're poking your eye, and you're on fire.
Here's the thing. Maybe it's not like, yeah, it's heaven, but maybe it's not called heaven. You know, maybe it's not up in the clouds, and you remember, it doesn't have to have that like scenery. Like there's angels, people with white bird wings, and like
Got you.
It doesn't
That
have to be
cliche
that,
shit.
right? It doesn't have to be that where there's clouds and everybody's got
It
all
could be
white
like this.
with gold rings over their head. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's not that defined. Think about a dream. Can you tell me what you're wearing in your dream? If your shoes are tied or untied, or how you got that dream? It just starts to happen. So maybe it's fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Fuzzy's not
Yeah,
bad
like
because you're
background
not
noise.
worried about like the bullshit. Like,
That's
look
kind
at
of
my
like
Tommy
meditating.
Hilfiger raincoat, or who
It's
fucking
kind of
cares?
like
Look at my cool
meditating.
chain.
You're
Like,
speaking of like
it's just-
meditation, like life becomes
Why
like
not?
background noise, and you're just in something that I can't
not?
explain.
I'm actually trying to work on that now. I was talking to my girl
You do it?
today about that. I'm trying to learn.
Look, I've
trying to learn.
been watching like not podcasts, like little clips on YouTube about it, because I'm like, okay, look, I used to pray when I was in church.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like this, not the same thing, but it's kind of like, okay, it's hard. If you were in Christianity and shit,
Mm-hmm.
like you had to pray, like it's tough. You sit there sometimes, close your eyes, and all you're thinking about is the pay-per-view from last night, and like
for sure.
it's just like meditating.
Or your mind purposely
mind goes-
interrupts you. Like,
But they say in meditation, it's supposed to do that. You're supposed to sit there, let it buzz around until it becomes background noise. And then you're in that meditation state that
But
you
what
should
if
not
you're-
be able to explain.
but what if your background noise is an asshole and he's just like, oh, you want me to be quiet?
wanna
I'm
smell
not
me
gonna
with your
be.
fingers?
I'm not gonna be.
We're like, damn, this asshole's chasing me all over
Right?
this
No,
place.
but that happens to some
T-Rex
people where they
coming.
can't silence like their minds. You know what I mean? Some people can't do it. A lot of people can't. A lot of people don't even think to do it. They may not even know that, oh, I can silence my mind. Like, no, this is a part of who I am. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool that people can know to get to the point where it's like, all right, let me purposely silence this noise and let me go to this place of peace. A lot of people can't do that. I'm sure 90 some odd % of the planet can't do that. They don't have that. Because, you know, they say we don't use much of our brains, right?
That, like half of it or something
Who
like
knows?
that, right?
You know, everybody's got a
Small
percentage. 5%. Some say 5, some say 10, some say 2.
But what's crazy that we don't know. Like, if you could use your whole brain, then your brain will blow up. So it's like maybe that's why we haven't evolved to use it
Or maybe
yet.
it's like that movie with Scarlett Johansson. Where what is that shit
Which
called?
one? Ghost in the Shell?
No.
No.
The other one, Lily or some shit.
Lucy.
Lucy. Word. Maybe it's like Lucy where she's
Shit.
like, go to sleep, and niggas, and they drop.
That's kind of cool.
You know what I'm saying? That's where X-Men and shit come from, the mutants. That's all it
that
is.
bullshit.
Is what we're talking about was dudes who's like, hey man, let's make a comic about this shit. And it's like, all right, cool. And then they do. So they create characters. We'll make one with, it will be Professor X, and this will be his power, but guess what? It's still a fair, even, balanced world. Put him in a wheelchair, he can't even walk. Boom.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Political.
Like, it's like stupid shit. Like, but it all comes from like what people thinking, like thinking outside the box. Like, I think that's dope. That kind of helps me in my art.
Like the human element is always involved in most of the stuff, even the supernatural shit. When we
Right.
talk about crazy stuff like aliens, like there's a little human touch there. Like aliens behave, ghosts behave, spirits behave like we do for some reason.
Right.
You were like, nah, it ain't like that. It'd be like you kind of like had to relate to, I guess, what you think of living is. See how you're like your afterlife is like still life. That's why it's called
Maybe it is, yeah. But I can only go off of, like you said, I can only go off of my experience of what.
Yeah,
I've,
with to die first and come back.
For
But
sure.
No one's done that, you know.
Right, like there's a bunch of drugs out here that people have done
Where?
that I hear about, and it's just like they try to explain it. Like I listened to the Mike Tyson podcast, and he always talks about 5-MeO DMT, and he like tries to explain it to people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but that's in his words. Like,
Imagine him
I
trying
may
to
experience
explain
that,
something.
and it may be nothing like what he's saying. It's like,
Absolutely not.
you know what I mean?
But you'll relate to him, I'm sure. It's like people who do the same thing. Like
Here's
if
the
y'all
thing.
eat chili, all of y'all gonna be
But
But
here's
in
the
the
thing:
bathroom.
do you want to always have someone else's perspective on something before you do it? Because it's gonna alter yours.
No, but I say invest money and study it.
do you? But okay, but just
Like everyone should be like they should do a thing where all of us go in and get induced into DMT, and then we try to map out what we see. To
How do
see,
you even take DMT? I don't know. Do you smoke it? Do you sniff it? Do you drink it? Do you
I
eat
believe
it?
you smoke it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what.
Yeah,
it is.
you
I know
can
it's like
smoke it.
frog's venom or something like that. They dry it
something-
out.
No. DMT is it's something we produce, but you could get. I forgot how they get it. Where does DMT come from for us to do? Because I know the body produces it. You produce
Like
it.
twice, like when you're born and when you die or something like that. Like only twice in your life or
You know,
something.
man, you're pushing me to go do it, to have experience, to tell people.
So you
because
could come back and
that's
you could talk
something that
about it.
I want to talk about. Because,
Yeah, for
look,
sure.
I'm going to tell you something, Ju. Like, the spiritual world and all that stuff, I like to talk a lot of crap here on the show, and I talk shit, but I don't really mean it. What I really want to say is that it's undiscovered completely. That I believe people that do have these experiences, like, let's say, out of body or whatever, like, there's something there. We should study it more, is all
Right.
I'm saying. Because it
Agreed.
just has little gaps, you know. Like your story is probably cool when you do DMT, and like mine will be different. But there's got to be
sure.
common ground in there. I'm sure that you're gonna point something out that like, dude, I saw that too, and that
Maybe,
I said
perhaps.
people should be like. You ever met this guy? He's like a painter, right? Like an artist, and his pineal gland is like, I don't know if it's fucked up or not, but it fucking lets out DMT more, and he sees the visuals constantly. So he decided to paint. So all his paintings are. He's on DMT the whole time, and he does paintings.
This is a real person.
Like I'm gonna when we get out of here, I'll show you his Instagram or his photos.
Yeah.
He paints under the DMT state
What?
because his pineal gland is always letting it out. I saw this on the Joe
That's
Rogan
nuts.
podcast. Yeah, he's like one of these artists that does that. And
What's
so
his name?
most
Well,
of
yeah,
us-
find his name. I want to.
We're gonna find this guy's name. When we get off here, I'll find it. and I'll
That's
show you.
ill. I love to
But
see
that's what
like
I
what
was
stuff
saying.
looks
Like when you were like, "How do we do that?" I'm like, "Look, in a medical facility, you can kind of keep the heart rate down and put them and give them DMT, and then help people do it in what I'm saying in an environment where it's stable, not like you and me at the crib."
Right.
You know, but if you're with people that know what they're doing, you know, they'll help you. They'll interview you after. They'll do the writing, and it's fresh when you
Right.
come off. Most people don't think of writing that shit down. They'll talk of their experiences like 2 days later.
True.
And then it's like, I don't
It's
remember.
well, of course you don't because it's just like a dream.
What is it?
So it comes from a plant. It could be smoked, drank it, or snorted.
See? You were right on one of those. On the
Yeah,
sniffy sniffies.
Yeah, they got options.
So look, man, before we wrap things up, because I'm having a good time, dog. I think we solved most of the alien problems, but you're doing big things with art now, too. I want to
Thanks,
tap
man.
real quick on this real quick. Like, there was recently something you did in Wynwood. I mean, you've done some pieces there, right?
Yeah, I've done a few pieces in Wynwood over
How
the
many
years.
pieces do you have in Wynwood?
Top of the head. Not commission or not
Just,
commission?
I mean,
together. Let's
full,
just
together.
No, just
Like
say
if
1,
Wynwood
2,
was
3,
your
4.
portfolio, how many times you been out there fucking drawing
1,
something?
2, 3.
That's enough. That's good.
4, like 5. Like yeah,
I
like
know,
like
bro, I
like
know.
5 or 6.
What's that like? I mean, that's
like
Wynwood.
5 or
It's
6.
Wynwood.
It's funny because when I first decided to get into like doing street art, I went to all the like legendary places first and put up like my bullshit. Like I look back at some of those pieces and I'm just like, ew. Like I snuck into when they're still doing construction on the Key Biscayne Marina before Heineken came and ruined it all and painted all over all the thing to shoot their stupid commercial.
Yeah.
I went there and that's the first time I was on the can, but it was weird because it was on the spray can, but it was on the floor at the marina, not on like a wall. So the spray can kept like nodding out, like bzz, bzz, buzzing out because it's made to be held up like this and it was like that. And I'm like, man, this is so hard. Like, why is it not working? It's because I wasn't holding it the right way. Because you can't hold it the right way when you're working on the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I went there. I went to Wynwood. I remember I was in Wynwood doing construction on one of these alleys and I'm just like throwing up like you ever seen what's his name? It's from the regular show. The green dude.
Ah, my
He's got
God. I don't know the name.
His
I know who
name
you're
is like
talking about.
Mr. Man or Macho Man, whatever his name is.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
Right.
The
So I
name.
was throwing up him on his tricycle, and his cop drove by, and I'm like, oh shit. So I kind of dropped my can on like into my backpack.
Wait. At that time, you're doing. I thought that they allow people to spray paint when it's all good.
Well, I didn't know that. So I look at him and I'm like, oh fuck. And he puts his window down and he's like, what up? And he kept driving. And I was just
Really?
like, oh, all right, cool. You know, that's back when it was under construction. It's,
Okay.
It's
I was
changing
about to
now,
say,
though.
now it's more like lax. I
It's
can understand
changing.
back in the
It's
day.
getting more like commercial now because they're doing all this new construction or whatever. But anyways, when I started, I went there. I went to Wynwood. I went to like all these places that I would see people do it. And I didn't realize like how legendary it was. Because when I went to paint at the Key Biscayne Marina, it was a security guard. It was this little kid. And he was like, oh, you want to come paint? I'm like, yeah. He like, all right, shit. He like, $25. I'm like, what? He's like, bruh, I make more money doing this shit, letting people in for photo shoots and this, that, and the third than I do than these crackers paying me. He said it like that. I'm like, really? He's like, hell yeah.
You're like, well, here you go.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
gave him
all right.
$25.
So, boom, I gave him his bread, went out there, boom, boom, boom. I left. I'm like, hey, I'm going to Burger King. You want something? He like, shit, hell yeah. Let me get a number 2. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, I got you. Whatever. But
When people already know the numbers,
here's the thing.
they're fatties. If they know the numbers.
Facts. It's crazy,
Number 2
though.
with no onions.
No extra cheese. He took my cell phone and was taking pictures of me painting. Like he was the photographer and the plug to get in.
Wow.
Like it was
awesome.
dope. I was like, damn, this
You
is
got hire him on the team,
for
dog.
sure. I'm like, this is pretty dope. He's like, man,
What's
you
the,
won't
do you know his
believe.
name or shout out to security guard?
Nah, I can't remember his name.
Shout out to fat security guard, the next number 2.
He was short
from
too.
Burger
He
King.
was short too. But like,
What's your latest piece you've done there? Now, I'm assuming now it's different.
the latest piece I've done it's still up. I did a Nipsey Hussle piece there
That's
back
right,
in
I did see that
April.
on the ground.
Back in April,
Shout
I
out to
did
your
a Nipsey Hussle piece above Mr. Cream in Wynwood. It's an ice cream
R.I.P.
shop.
Nipsey. It came
Yeah.
out dope, man.
Thank you, I appreciate that. It's crazy because
I
the very
like
next
that.
day, I flew out. I already had this this planned trip with my girl to go to L.A. I didn't want to do the mural right away, right after it happened, because I didn't want it to be like no gimmicky shit. I don't like gimmicky like, oh, this just happened, like current event stuff. Let's hurry up and do it 2 days after,
Yeah.
3 days after,
I
because
got
it's
you.
like it's not the same. It's like you just doing it. A lot of people do. Power to them. I don't like to do that. Right. So
It's kind of like
I waited-
forcing you to draw. Like you don't.
right, I waited like 3 weeks, like 2.5, 3 weeks, and I went and I threw it up. But I just so happened that I had a trip planned to go to L.A. So I flew out the next day. In the first place, me and my girl went was to the Marathon store in Crenshaw. And I'm like, damn, I just finished this piece yesterday. and like I'm out here.
And you're at the spot.
Yeah, and then I this dude, I think his name is like Ink One or something like that. He was throwing up like this dope Nipsey piece, and I was like, oh shit, and I was like, look, I just did this one yesterday, and I was showing him, he's like, damn, what that say? I'm like, that's in Miami. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I just
Was he
finished
like
yesterday.
shocked?
No, he just was like, word? I'm like, yeah. He's
Y'all
like,
get
oh.
down like that?
He's like, oh, that shit's dope. I'm like, yeah. His shit was harder though. His shit was crazy. His
He
shit
was
was
like
dope.
an OG motherfucker.
Yeah, but he does
He had a
like
gun on his hip and everything like
nah,
that. This shit hard, homie.
Yeah, so that was cool, but like I wanted to do mine different because everybody was using like the same reference of his profile from one way with the braids when he had on like the plaid shirt and the beard from the side that said prolific. So what I did is I went back and I took an old picture before he had the beard to do the other side that had like the S on it for Slauson and like his kid's name on his neck, and I just added the beard to that reference.
Oh, that's
right?
dope,
so
dog.
nobody else is gonna have that like that because I created the beard on the image of him without the beard, and then instead of doing it in like flesh tones, I did it monochromatic blue, so the piece is all blue.
Monochromatic. What does that mean?
Monochromatic is like the same color.
Take me to your leader.
It's almost like it's like an art flex. So it's like, look how many different shades of this one color I could do to create something.
I know
you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's cool.
Like a
You
baby.
use
That's like a baby.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you use all those colors. Watch what I do with blue. So then you take 6, 7, 8 blues and you do a piece in all blue or all whatever color. So monochromatic means it's the same color. So like if you say, oh, that's some like I'm gonna do, so I like explain to people like
if I got a black pants but I wash it, it's a little bit gray, but my shirt don't match. You know when you wear a black shirt and it don't match, I got monochromatic clothes on.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, you can look at it like that.
Yeah,
but
I can.
You know, like mono is like it means one, so like it's
Yeah.
breaking down the words. But yeah, it's
And
just the same color.
Shout out to people who get
different-
mono and shit.
It's just using like the same color over and over. So I
You know
just
who
like
don't
it.
get mono? T-Rexes, dog. They ain't got no goddamn monos.
We don't know that. Did they have male and female T-Rexes? Like, do they ever talk about T-Rexes laying eggs?
All of them laid eggs. All dinosaurs laid eggs.
So dinosaurs were asexual. Is that the term? So there were no dinosaur
Listen,
dicks.
I didn't date any of them motherfuckers.
Nah, hold on though.
Oh, you
But
mean like
is
how did
this
they
a fact?
reproduce?
No, but I know they laid eggs because in the movies in Jurassic Park they told me they laid eggs.
The movies are real, by the
So
way.
it has to
Everything you
be
see in the
true,
movies is
right?
real.
Right.
Yeah. Always get your info from all the movies.
There you go.
No, here's the deal.
So-
If I'm not mistaken, all the dinosaurs laid eggs, and the mammals like us lived underground. We evolved to like have them inside
Asexual.
because they were fucking.
Word.
They didn't want to get eaten. The
Shout
reason
out to
why-
my brother
Yeah.
Justin again.
Shout out to your brother
He
Justin.
taught me.
Did he really?
He taught me a lot of like meaningless facts, like that dinosaurs are asexual.
Yeah.
Who needs to know that? But I knew it because of him.
That's
But,
what's up. I knew it because I watched Predator. Remember Jesse Body Ventura? He's like,
Slug jaw around
with,
here. This will
Arnold
make asexual tyrannosaurs.
With,
just like me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, remember that?
Yeah.
He was a sexual tyrannosaurus. and the
Holy
guy was like,
shit.
strap this on your sore ass, Blaine. Listen,
What is that? 84.
that's a good movie. 85, I think.
85?
85, 84.
I was
probably
born
so.
87.
Get
so
to the chopper!
that was before.
Can you
my
do
time.
Arnold voice or no?
Nah, I can't
mean,
do
neither.
Arnold. I'm not good at impressions.
Julian, man, we're running to our time. I'm having so much fun. You're gonna have to come back, man.
For sure.
I
Let's
got
do it
some,
around 2.
Listen, you and I were chopping it up before
Uh-huh.
we came in here about tats and stuff.
Yeah,
I got that. I showed you that piece. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna get down with it so we can then
I'm with it.
put it up. I'm gonna make sure that when I post this on the ground, I'm gonna put your link so people can go see, man. Most of my people that are gonna see this for the first time, they're
Uh-huh.
gonna blow them away with your artwork, man.
All right, dope.
Stuff you're doing is
Appreciate
like
that.
mad incredible. Let me see that cup. This is like the type of shit I'm talking about, man. Like, look at this. Shout out to Julian.
That actually
Ju
is
Reams.
from.
I like that shit, man.
That's a zoom in from a painting I'm still working on. So one day I was painting. Shout out to Gio because he put me onto these stickers. Your brother, he's
Yeah, shout
The
out to
kid's a
Gian Piero. He
genius.
does all the stuff. You know what I
Word.
mean? He's just
Word.
the little kid right here in the middle.
word. That kid's a genius. But he
He
put me
is,
on
man.
to like zooming in to my own art and creating pieces from that. So I'm starting to do that. I'm gonna get into apparel and all that. But we'll talk about it next
We'll
time.
do that, man. I really appreciate you coming, man. All right, keep
Absolutely.
doing big things.
Thank you for having me,
Yeah,
man.
all day, my man. Julian, appreciate it, man.
No
all right?
problem.
That's it. It's a wrap. We're out of here, guys.